Let's talk to Conservative Party Chairman Richard Holden, who joins us now. Good to see you this morning. It's hard to look at any of these results, isn't it, in any other way apart from a bit of a disaster for the government, even if it was expected.
Well, as you said, we've had about a quarter of the council results in yet, none of the big mayoral elections yet, and only a couple of the PCC elections. So there's still a long way to go. But what I would say is that obviously there's been a mixed set of results. Some good Conservative colleagues have lost their seats and obviously have been out campaigning hard for them, and sorry for those guys out on the ground. But other places, I think we've overperformed compared to expectations as well. Places like Harlow, which we've held, visited twice by the Labour leader Keir Starmer just in the last few weeks. So there's a bit of a mixed picture there, but I don't want to say that things haven't been very tough for us this evening, coming off what was obviously those vaccine bounce elections in 2021 where we'd made gains after 11 years in government. And in fact, in those elections, even in my own area in 2021, we saw big gains from Labour, for councils like Durham, which had been Labour for over 100 years. So these really are coming off a very high point of Conservative results.
But very bad night in Blackpool South for you, wasn't it, where there was a huge swing to the Labour Party, the third biggest by-election swing since the Second World War, in fact. And you must be very worried about the role of reform in all of this, because the Tories came in second place in Blackpool South, Reform came in third place, but there are only 117 votes in it. The Reform Party are hot on your heels, aren't they?
Well, I can say about, that result and other results across the country, it's quite clear that, Reform are helping Labour win in a lot of those areas. What I would also say about Blackpool South, though, very difficult circumstances locally. On top of that, we had the neighbouring seat. We had another MP with issues there during the campaign itself, which was not, it was a very, very difficult situation for our really great Conservative candidate in Blackpool. And, but even in those circumstances, to come second, we saw back in the mid-2010s, UKIP, the predecessor to the Brexit Party, which is a predecessor to Reform, winning seats, in a parliamentary seat. So we haven't seen that today. Reform are still third, and it's still very clear from the result in Blackpool that voting for Reform just helps Labour in and over the line.
Obviously we're going to have to wait, another couple of days to get all the results in. But from CCHQ's perspective, what are acceptable losses? What's worst case scenario?
Look, there's no losses which I think are acceptable. I've been out there slogging my guts out to help our Conservative councillors and mayoral candidates right up and down the country. I've done hundreds of visits, I think, now since I became party chairman. They are my focus. The broader Conservative Party out there in the country, and obviously for individuals, it's very sad. Look, in terms of predictions, I can't really get into that game, but it's very clear to me that when we're looking, and Keir Starmer said he wanted to take seats in councils like Harlow. He's made that very clear. He's been out there many times. He needs to win places like that in order to win, become the largest party, never mind win a majority in a general election. We'll see about results like the mayoralty in Teesside as well later on, where Labour have thrown everything at it, the kitchen sink plus some more. I think the entire pipings from the kitchen's gone into that one, with multiple visits from Keir Starmer, plus the shadow cabinet's been half decamped up there for the last few weeks. We'll see what happens there, because again, across the Tees Valley, Labour need to win all of those seats in a general election scenario just to become the largest party. So I think it's Railings and Thrasher and some of the other people have predicted numbers. I don't want to do that. I think it's quite clear on a case-by-case basis. We're seeing different results in different areas. But what I would say is that I want to keep seeing us as a government focus on the main policies, whether that's getting the Rwanda bill sorted so that nobody who comes to the UK illegally can stay. That's in stark contrast to Labour's plan.
Hold on, Mr. Holden. I mean,
system.
it's all well and good doing the sort of pitch in that sense, and there are a lot of people watching and listening will appreciate it, but it's about what has happened overnight that people care about this morning. And although you can talk about Harlow, you can talk about what may happen with some of these mayoral races, the bottom line is the Conservative Party have done very badly, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on you. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the Prime Minister, and a lot of people are saying, why just not pull the trigger, get this general election underway?
Look, I think the timing of the general election is very much a matter for the PM. But what I would say is, let's wait and see till the rest of the results come out over the next couple of days. It is a drawn-out process. We've seen different results in different parts of the country.